and happy Earth Day. I'm Alicia Seesholtz, and I work for the Department of Water Resources. Do you know anyone that works with dinosaurs? Well, as a senior environmental scientist, which in my case means fisheries biologist, I get to work with living dinosaurs, the sturgeon. Sturgeon have been swimming around for over 40 million years, and they are somewhat like us in that they can live for 70 to 100 years and can start to reproduce between the ages of 12 and 15. We have two sturgeon species in our local water, green sturgeon and white sturgeon. To help protect green sturgeon, because their population appeared to be declining, they were listed as threatened through the Federal Endangered Species Act in 2006. At that time, they thought green sturgeon only spawned in the Sacramento River. We knew they sometimes came into the Feather River, so we needed to determine how often they were there, where they went, and what they were doing in the river. There was limited data on sturgeon before the current Feather River program began. Historic numbers and range of the species was unknown. It was assumed that sturgeon spawned in the Feather River, but it had never been documented. Green sturgeon had never been sampled in any fisheries studies that took place as far back as the 1960s. Currently, we are using many sampling methods to gather data on these fish, which include egg mats, nets, sonar, and telemetry. So, what have we learned so far? Well, in 2011, we documented spawning for the first time when we collected eggs. This was important because it let us know that sturgeon would spawn in areas outside of the Sacramento River. This could give them another place to go if something happened to the habitat in the Sacramento River and they needed somewhere else to spawn and rear. Next, we needed to know if the eggs would hatch to provide young sturgeon that could grow up and add to the population. In 2017, we collected the first larvae, which let us recognize that the Feather River has habitat that will allow sturgeon to reproduce successfully. We also studied adult sturgeon and found that they were present in the Feather River in 15 of the last 17 years. They are there year-round and usually come up during late winter and can stay until the following spring. This means the Feather River is important because it is used by sturgeon even when there's not a lot of water and at all times of the year. So we need to make management decisions that protect them whenever possible. The adult fish travel many miles to get to the Feather River and then head back out to the ocean and go north until they return in 3 to 6 years to spawn again. For example, one fish we tracked with acoustic telemetry tags traveled from the spawning grounds about 1,300 miles to the northern tip of Vancouver Island. We still have lots more to learn. My next task is to determine where juveniles rear in the river and how long they stay before they head to the delta. This information will help us evaluate the best ways to protect the juveniles so they can successfully grow to adults and to add to the overall population. Our ultimate goal is to help green sturgeon recover so they can be removed as a threatened species from the Endangered Species Act.